All right, Bulls and Bears, how's everybody doing here? Back with another dose, Bulger the Bus BX4. A lot of news to get caught up on, folks. We're going to put out more reports as the news gets more intense, more heavy. We've got a lot of things to cover today. We've got central banks out there basically telling people that gold is the way to go. And that goes right along with what we've been seeing out of many different countries, the BRICS Alliance and more. Even the U.S. Central Bank accumulating a lot of gold. We're going to get into that here in a little bit. But the market's new all-time highs today. The stock market today, S&P 500 new record, has the longest weekly winning streak of the year. Netflix surged. People loving Netflix, people paying for Netflix. They've got the low price tier now where you watch some commercials. And I don't know exactly, I think it's like $7 a month, folks. And Netflix, massive surge. Investors in Netflix being heavily rewarded right now. Also, the Dow Jones closed at a record high today as well. We've got gold, silver smashing up higher. We got gold, 2,736, folks, per ounce. 1 ounce, 2,736. Amazing, right? Silver finally breaking out, $33.92. I think it's going to be surging much more rapidly from here because we broke through some resistance here. Let's bring up a chart here. I know many viewers here are invested in silver. We've been talking about silver here for a long time, but let's go back to a long-term chart here. Let's see here. And first we want to take a look at a 5-year chart. First, actually a 1-year chart. And we saw a lot of peaks, peaking out at about 31 and some change, a little bit over $32. That was back in May. Then we saw it bounce around, and now we finally broke out to a 1-year high, but no, it's more than a 1-year high. Let's go out to a 5-year chart. More than a 5-year high. Let's go out to a long-term chart. Okay, all the way back to 2016. So we're at a 7-year high, but let me expand this chart. It's not working right now. Right before I recorded the video, I tested this out. It worked. Of course, now that I'm recording, it's not working here. There we go. Just had to wait for it there. So 33, just under $34, folks. We have to go all the way back to October 2012 to see this price level, folks. So this is a 12-year high, right? I think we will see a pullback. Nothing goes up or down in a straight line. So we're gonna see ourselves as investors of silver be very heavily rewarded here very soon, folks. The writing is on the wall. If the markets were the place to be, and yes, markets hit all-time highs here, the Dow and the S&P, but if that were the place to be, if that had the longer-term benefit, why would so much money be piling into precious metals right now? You might want to ask yourself that question. Could it be because that's where the monetary system is headed? Slowly but surely, but we've been talking about this here for a while, but it's nice to see silver breaking out. So we've been talking about it for so long. And the next stop is going to be $40. And once it hits that, you're going to see the shorts get wiped out. And that's when you're going to see a lot of the shorts selling. And remember, a lot of this is derivative driven, right? Prices being determined on the derivatives market, which is kind of backwards, right? It should be the real asset. The physical asset determines what the derivative value is because people do paper trading, but it's just the opposite because so much money has been pouring into paper investing and paper shorting and even naked shorting, right? So some of the banks that have been suppressing the price, they've been shorting the heck out of it. So if these shorts cover, if and when they cover, I shouldn't say if, it's a matter of when, not if. When they cover, you're going to see exploding prices of silver. So get your silver. You might want to wait for a little pullback, but even if you get in at these levels, I think you're still buying at a very, very good time because remember, the price has been suppressed for so many years. Go back to the 80s. The 80s, it was $50 or approached $50 in the 80s. What can you buy today that's cheaper than when it was back in the 80s? Nothing, right? Or not many things. Maybe big screen TVs, because when they first came out, they were enormous, but they costed a lot more too. But my point is, it's still a good time to buy. So folks, what do you think about that chart here? What do you think about the breakout? We've even got Bitcoin breaking out. And let's see here, as I'm recording this, Bitcoin, 68,000. We've got oil down now to $69. That dropped another $1.30 today. Folks, all this stuff looking very, very strong. Just before November, just like we said would happen. They said they're going to keep the markets looking very pretty before November. Let's go ahead and get into some other news, though. Janet Yellen's out there warning against tariffs. She says that could re-accelerate inflation. Treasury Secretary Yellen warns sweeping, untargeted tariffs would re-accelerate inflation. Is she right? What do you think about that, Grandma Yellen? She's been wrong about everything else. Remember what she said about inflation initially, that it was temporary, transitory. She was wrong about a lot of things. She said that no banks would fail. Banks ended up failing in 2023. I think they've kind of got the lid on that for now, though, with the FDIC and the Treasury and the Fed all getting together and pumping unlimited amounts of money into the banks. We've got more aid going out to foreign countries, even as people go unhelped here in the United States, which is pretty sad. A lot of people are talking about that right now. Wolf Street put this out. We talk about inflation a lot, deflation. We've been seeing some deflation, not disinflation, not slowing inflation, but deflation, where prices actually come down. Used vehicles getting ready to turn into inflation headwind after a historic plunge had powered core CPI. Inventory actually is low on vehicles. Where are all these people getting the money to buy vehicles? Well, let's bring this chart up here. We saw prices drop. They went up in 2023 at the very beginning. Dropped, and now we went up a bit here in the summer and into the fall. Prices are actually higher now than they were in the early to mid summer. So pretty interesting. Where are all the new car buyers coming from? What do you think about that? Right, just the opposite of what a lot of people predicted. They predicted the price would continue to go down, but the same thing. Nothing goes up or down in a straight line. So we could see it reaccelerate to the downside as Americans, people are still piled up, loaded up on debt. We're told the economy is good. Look at the markets, the stock markets, they say is the indicator of how the economy is doing. Well, it's an indicator for Wall Street. Remember, Wall Street owns most of the stocks, and we're talking about the hedge funds, the billionaires. But if the economy was really that good, why do we see a record number of CEOs resigning? Right? Company's doing good. The economy's great. I'm a CEO. I'm going to resign. 2024, record number of CEO resignations. This is out of Gray and Christmas. Just in one quarter alone, it was 622 CEOs resigned. And that was a 50% increase from the same quarter in 2023. And it's a record when you look at the year to date so far. Nonprofits have seen the highest CEO turnover this year, followed by tech and healthcare company CEOs. All right, people, let's shift gears a little bit here. We've seen what's happened to a lot of cities, especially places in California, but across America, we've seen a lot of what they call the, is it the Meth Apocalypse? Fentanyl Apocalypse. I can't remember the name they give to it, but not just that. Look at the homelessness, folks. Let's bring this up here. This is a drive-through. This is Oakland, folks. This looks like a third world country. Let's take a look at this, folks. This is amazing. Would you ever expect this in the United States? On the side of the road, look at this. Homeless shelters for miles, junk, garbage, trash, broken down vehicles, and more, and more. Look at this. Campers, RVs galore, folks. This is insane. But the truly frightening part of this, in my opinion, is it's only going to get worse, right? Both of the candidates that we see that are going to be selected in November, whoever wins, it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be worse. I don't think either one of them have a plan to bring down the cost of living. All they know is lower interest rates. Right? We know for a fact that that's what the candidate on the right wants. And then Ms. Harris, I think she's all over the place. I don't know if even she knows what she wants. I think the people controlling her are going to tell her what to do, so she probably has no idea what's going to happen or what she's going to do. But it's real, folks, and you got to be careful, because as the cost of living continues to explode higher, more and more people getting desperate. You're going to see more crime, more people stealing vehicles, carjackings, even insurance fraud, folks. Let's look at this video right here and take a look at the extremes that some people will go to get money. And this is people faking an injury and stuff like that after an automobile crash. Take a look. Get yourself a Dashcam and take a look at the extremes that some people will go to get money. And this is people faking an injury and stuff like that after an automobile crash. Take a look. And this is obvious case of fraud. Watch what this car does.
He had one hand on the, what the?
Okay, the car in the back was able to slam on the brakes in time. Watch this. Wow, look at this. It gets better. Lady gets out. She's looking at the car behind him like they didn't cause it themselves. She's saying, "Oh no, look at my bumper." This guy gets out holding his head. Other ladies holding their head. Now they all get their phones out. Let's take a picture of the damage. Look what they did to us. Fraudsters, folks. Fraudsters everywhere. Right? And things like this have always happened. My point is, the more desperate people get financially, how can they look at this guy and try to act like they didn't do this? So the point of the story, folks, get yourself a dash cam. So this is on Dashcam. And guess what? These people are going to be in big, big trouble. I have a dash cam, but I quit working. I need to get one because, folks, you want to be recording stuff. Hopefully this never happens to you, but if it does, if it gets on video, you're going to be a very, very happy camper. One, not having to be blamed for being at fault in an accident, but two, putting these people behind bars, hopefully. I mean, this is fraud, and they're all in on it. They're all getting out, right? Acting like they're hurt, folks. What a scam, and it's just sad to see people going to this extreme, and all the other extremes are going through, all the crime and different things happening here. The poverty, pretty wild, isn't it, folks? Something else here. A school in New Jersey, schools, more than one, dismissing students early amid massive layoffs and cuts. So we're sending all this money all over the world to foreign countries, funding wars, or just sending the money. But yet we are closing schools, and they have to do layoffs and cuts at our schools, folks. It's another symptom of the quote-unquote leaders, the bankers, and the monetary engineers, the financial engineers in this country. What we talked about at the beginning, central bankers make rare comments in favor of bigger gold stash. So many central banks have been accumulating gold. We know that. But in a break from form, reserve managers from central banks of Mexico, Mongolia, and the Czech Republic on Monday sang the praises of bigger gold holdings. The comments provide unique insight into how they are viewing bullion, with the officials saying that gold as a percentage of their country's reserves is more likely to increase in the years ahead amid confluence of growing geopolitical tensions and lower interest rates, and the move to hard assets within the monetary and within trading from many different countries now, folks. Right? So continue to stack, position yourself, canned goods as well. I see something very big on the horizon, folks. I feel it. Of course, we're getting close to the end of the month. We'll see if my prediction comes true on the Black Swan coming down. Either way, be prepared. Keep stacking financially and preparation-wise as far as just survival. Look out for these fraudsters, folks. A lot of people out there, keep your doors locked when you're not getting in or out. Even if you're sitting in traffic, keep your doors locked. Seeing a lot more videos of people coming up and just getting in people's cars, taking their cars. And the fraud that we saw in that insurance video with the car backing up in front of the other car. Anyways, hope everybody has a good weekend. Please make sure you subscribe. Come back here for more news. As always, big love. Bye for now. Peace.